Good day, YouTube. Brad Browning here. Welcome to another of my marriage-saving advice videos. This time around, I'll be talking about jealousy and how to control jealousy in your relationship. This is a huge topic that definitely can't be covered fully in a single video, so I'm just going to scratch the surface here and give you some key tips for dealing with jealousy. You probably won't be surprised to hear that jealousy is an issue for many married couples. In fact, a recent study of Canadian marriage counselors found that 1/3 of all couples who attended counseling cited jealousy as a primary cause of their marriage problems. So clearly, jealousy is a major problem for a lot of married couples. Let's talk about some ways you can keep jealousy issues in check and avoid it from damaging your marriage. Before we jump into that though, I want to quickly explain the difference between normal, healthy jealousy, the kind of benign jealousy that's present in almost every romantic relationship, and unhealthy jealousy, which is often irrational and highly toxic to a marriage. Healthy jealousy stems from a sincere care and commitment to a relationship. This is the kind of completely natural jealousy that we all suffer from occasionally, and it's not something that you should be worried about. Recognize that it's perfectly normal to feel a jolt of jealousy when you see your partner laughing and enjoying a conversation with someone of the opposite sex, for instance. We feel these kinds of emotions because we're invested in the relationship with our partners, and we're essentially guarding our territory. It's when people begin to act on these emotions, or when jealousy becomes irrational, that things move into the unhealthy sphere. Irrational jealousy is more serious and tends to be a chronic issue that can erode the fabric of a marriage. If your marriage is on a downhill slide as a result of jealousy problems, please visit my website, www.marriageguy.com, and watch the free presentation on the homepage. In that video, I reveal some little-known facts about marriage and offer some tips on how to begin rebuilding a healthier, happier marriage, one that's free of jealousy and that'll stand the test of time. Again, the URL to watch that free video is marriageguy.com. Okay, so let's talk about irrational jealousy, the kind of jealousy that's really bad news for any relationship. This kind of jealousy can have a lot of different causes, usually related to insecurity or low self-esteem. I'm not going to go into the psychology behind it, but it's important to note that most people who develop jealousy issues often have underlying insecurities that are resulting from past experiences. Whatever the cause may be, if you are the person who struggles with jealousy issues, then you have the ability to make changes to your behavior that will put these problems to rest. The first step is to acknowledge your jealousy issues and the damage that they're causing to your marriage. Since you're watching this video right now, then I assume you've done this already, so congratulations on taking the first big step towards resolving them. The second step is to recognize that in most cases, your feelings of jealousy are irrational. In other words, they're unwarranted. So unless your spouse has actually admitted to infidelity or you've caught them in the act, then your jealousy is irrational. So recognize that your jealous feelings aren't based on reality. They're stemming from underlying insecurities and not from actual behaviors of your spouse. Once you've accepted that you're feeling jealous for no good reason, then it can be a bit easier to control those feelings and stop yourself from acting on them. Every time you feel jealous about something, for instance, when your spouse is texting someone of the opposite sex that you haven't met, remind yourself that your jealousy is baseless and irrational. You've probably texted someone of the opposite sex recently too, right? And I'm guessing it wasn't because you were secretly having an affair with that person. So the same is almost certainly true for your spouse, so there's absolutely no reason to think that they're doing anything shady or cheating on you. So until you have clear evidence that proves otherwise, you must remind yourself that all feelings of jealousy are irrational and unwarranted. Realizing that your feelings of jealousy are actually really dumb is an important step in the right direction. But the most important step is what you do next. No matter how intense your feelings of jealousy are, you absolutely must internalize them and avoid acting on them. So do whatever it takes to keep yourself from acting on jealous feelings. Literally bite your tongue, tell a friend in confidence, write down your feelings in a private diary. It really doesn't matter as long as you're not doing something destructive as a result of your jealousy. Again, when jealousy hits, remind yourself that these emotions you're feeling are irrational and that acting on them will damage your marriage. You can also sit down with your partner and have a mature, civilized discussion about jealousy. There's often things that you can both do to help keep any jealousy issues in check. Perhaps, say, you get jealous when your spouse goes out with coworkers every Friday night, for example. So instead of getting angry and trying to stop your partner from attending these work get-togethers, you can share your feelings with your spouse and maybe ask if you can tag along one Friday to help alleviate your concerns. Make sure your spouse knows that you understand the irrational nature of your jealous feelings, and they'll likely be willing to take steps to help you rein in those emotions. Building a strong level of trust between you and your partner is very important in any marriage, and it's also extremely important to controlling jealousy issues, as you might imagine. Now, I'm not going to discuss building trust in depth here in this video, but it's obviously a crucial aspect of reining in jealousy problems. Please visit my website, marriageguy.com, for more advice on building trust and strengthening the bond with your partner to ensure that your marriage lasts until death do you part. Okay, finally, let's move on and talk briefly about what to do if your partner is the one who struggles with jealousy issues. And if you do have a jealous spouse, then the first thing you need to do is assess whether or not you're doing something that's causing those feelings. Are you an extremely private person, for example, who prefers to keep emails and text messages confidential from your spouse? Or do you avoid checking in with your spouse when you're out of town on business? I mean, there's a number of possibilities, so take a good hard look at your own behaviors and try to identify things that you might be doing or saying that could potentially be contributing to your partner's jealousy. And then talk with them about these issues and consider making changes to help alleviate your spouse's concerns. Even if you feel like you're not doing anything wrong, for example, using the scenario I mentioned earlier about going out for drinks after work with your colleagues every Friday, consider stopping that activity temporarily to show your commitment to the marriage and your partner's feelings. Explain to your spouse that you feel like their jealousy is unwarranted, but that you're willing to take a break from whatever things you're doing that are causing the jealousy if it'll help. Now, you don't have to back down and let your partner control your life and prevent you from doing things that you enjoy, but being willing to compromise, even temporarily, can help build trust and prove your commitment. Speaking of proving commitment, it can also really help to show your love and devotion to your spouse through words and actions. By regularly telling your spouse how much you love them, complimenting him or her occasionally, and explaining how much he or she means to you, you can really help to eliminate some of your partner's insecurities. This kind of thing is good practice in any marriage, regardless of jealousy issues, but it's especially important if your partner is struggling with an irrational jealousy problem. Finally, if jealousy continues to be an issue for either you or your partner, consider getting some guidance from a marriage coach. Whether that's in the form of an in-person visit to a couples counselor with your spouse, or simply through one-on-one dialogue with a marriage coach like myself, it can be a very helpful way to come up with solutions to potentially damaging jealousy problems. I do offer personal coaching to a limited number of clients. If you're interested in working with me or you want to see my current availability, please visit marriageguy.com/coaching. That's marriageguy.com/coaching. All right, well, hopefully this video has given you some useful ideas and tips that you can use to begin reining in the jealousy issues in your marriage. If you have any other ideas, or if you want to ask me a quick question, please feel free to do so in the comment section below. I always try to do my best to respond to every comment on my videos. And that is it for now. Thank you very much for watching, and best of luck.